Luckily, we weren't there at Wednesday. Yeah, we were there. We were
I'm taking over for class for Alex since he's on vacation. Looking forward to you doing. So we'll start with just kind of like a warm up for 2 minutes with a partner. We're just going to do standing grip fights. So I'm looking for inside control. Sometimes I'm looking also for outside control, like behind triceps, behind elbows. I'm also looking for my grip. So whether it's collar ties, whether it's arm drags, whatever. It's going to be like a continuous grip fight where I'm getting inside, Dylan's going to be inside as well. I'm looking for my grips. Maybe it's an underhook. And then Dylan will break that grip and we'll continue. Yeah? Just working through grips, getting your own grips, moving on your feet as well, not just standing. Any questions? 1, 2, and 2. If I work in? Sure. Yeah, just like trying to get me continue the grip fight, but now what I'm looking for is to connect my hands. So whether it's like I use my grips to get in on a single, kind of connecting my hands, now we reset. Or if it's like I get an arm drag and I connect my hand with your body lock, we'll reset. Or if somehow I snap them down and I connect my hand with the body hand lock, that's a winning condition and we'll reset. Just some thoughts about like grip fighting. Anytime I get one of my own grips, I'm using it to sort of move my partner. So like maybe I have a collar tie, I want to use it to move them. Maybe I can start thinking about the timing on coming in on a single leg. know I was just saying like it's going to be a continuous grip fight where like both of you are maybe looking for inside position, so it's a lot of holding. Sometimes I just let them take inside position, so maybe they get some sort of inside bicep ties. Now I have outside grips, and maybe I can use that as a snap and get my own. So basically, I'm thinking about anytime someone makes a connection with me, I'm trying to figure out a way to turn that into my advantage. So like even if Dylan is grabbing my wrist, it's his grip, but I can still move his arm. So maybe I can think about an arm drag right here as well. So just some concepts for you guys to think about. This game we'll be looking to connect our hands, so connecting upper and lower body. We'll go you partners in 2 minutes. Sure. beginners who are going to be really easy stuff. So turtle's going to be a really important position to play. So we'll start in turtle. The game we'll play first is top person. I cannot connect my hands around my helmet. So I'm not allowed to do the seatbelt. I'm not allowed to do your body lock. But I can use my hands to grab at shoulders, armpits, I can grab the hip, I can grab the feet. And my goal right now is to keep pressure on top of my opponent, on Dylan right here, so he can't just stand up and walk away. So I need to keep sufficient pressure in this turtle position so he can't stand up and walk away. And then my goal is to knock Dylan's hip to the mat. So I'm trying to figure out a way to bring his hip touch the mat. The hip touches the mat, the game's over, and you guys will switch positions. If at any point I'm trying to do this and Dylan stands up, gains posture, and just backs out, disconnects, the game is over, switch. So we'll start in turtle. I'm using my weight distribution to keep Dylan's posture down, and I'm looking for controls without connecting my hands to try and knock his hip to the mat. And that's my goal on top. Dylan's goal on bottom is basically to try and stand up and posture away and disconnect. Anyone achieves their goal will switch positions. Any questions?
Right. Yeah. Not allowed to connect your hands, but if you go like in the seatbelt position, then just be not connected? Or is that?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so if you want to do that, you can. You can't go a closed loop, but if you want to do something like this,
Okay.
I'll allow it. Because it is kind of like an armpit control.
Is that?
Armpit control, weight over, whatever, grabbing legs, grabbing hips, shifting around. So the main goal is to keep them down and try to knock them to a hip. Any questions? All right, on 2, 1, 2. So just think about that as well. Just to reiterate, the reason why we're doing this is because when you come to the turtle position, you're not always going to have perfect grips, and you're not always going to have sleep up. So being able to have your hands disconnected and still be
Bye-bye. Can we start?
Yeah.
We're going to add on to this game, so we're going to just get more and more progressive with it. Next game we'll play, we'll start in the same position. Just like you're on top, you have disconnected hands. But now we're going to add the condition where I, as the top person, I can connect my hands now. So you can earn your seatbelt, or you can earn your body lock, whatever. Any kind of connected hands are allowed. My goals, though, are going to be a little different. So I can still knock him down to a hip and pin. I can still win that way. But I can also win by having connected hands and also one hook in. So if I can get a seatbelt and one hook, this is a win condition for me. Obviously, Dylan's not going to just let me have that, so he's going to be fighting. So whether it's turning the face, whether it's standing up because I'm not keeping enough pressure on him, or simply just denying me the hook. Like maybe I have a seatbelt and he's just denying my ability to put a hook in. So I have to figure out how to move him and open up this hip pocket in order for me to get my win condition. The reason why I start people off with the ability to not disconnect hands is because in certain cases, like it actually helps to control rotation. So if I have like a rear body lock, this actually doesn't control rotation all that well. Whereas like when I was watching a couple of you, like you guys had like a thigh pry going on, maybe like an underhook on this side. This actually controls rotation pretty well. Like it's hard for Dylan to turn it. So just like knowing how to switch between whatever grips that you guys want to sort of control rotation is going to be helpful. So like knowing how to use connected hands and also disconnected hands to keep the control position. So again, we'll play this game. If I can knock Dylan down to a hip and pin him, that's a win condition for me. If I can have some sort of connected hands with one of my foot hooks in this hip pocket, that's going to be another win condition for me. Again, if I'm unable to keep sufficient pressure and Dylan stands, turns to face, disconnects, that's a win for Dylan. If by some reason he reverses me, so I end up on bottom in a pin, that's also a win for Dylan. Any questions? All right, on to
here.
Alright, so now that we've played some games, I'll take a little bit of time for questions. So like anything you guys had, like what was hard, what did you find you were difficult to do, where did you run into blocks? Any questions or what? Talk about it.
I found it a lot harder to defend hooks when I
Defending.
yeah, the last exercise.
So I think anytime I'm thinking about defending hooks, like, so let's say he has, I don't know, whatever, seatbelt, and he's looking for, basically he's looking to penetrate the space in my hip, right? And the only way he can do that is if he's aligned up top and he's also aligned down bottom. So like one thing I think about is I can use my hands to look to defend the hook. So like maybe he starts pulling me in the back, I'm looking to sort of connect elbow to knee. This is one way to protect hip space right here. Some people are also very dexterous, so they'll sort of just kind of insert right there. I'll always kind of have my hand here to sort of peel it off and prevent this hook from coming in. So I'm kind of like hand fighting, also using my knee to elbow connection to sort of stop that from happening. And then once I have like a split second of time, I can start to misalign my lower back so that the hook gets harder and harder to insert. So that's one way you can deal with it. I find that like keeping a hand nearby sort of helps strip the hook and sort of hold it away. Works really well.
I probably was doing it wrong. So I thought that connecting hands and then once was like hip. That was a win condition?
Connecting hands, but then you'll want to have one hook in.
Oh, it was one of the instead of relying on a back escape or like just, your back and back, instead of relying on that, what is your preferred way to address situations?
Yeah, so if I'm in turtle, some of the options I think about are, one, I can start to turn into him. So like, especially if he's behind me, I want to start taking an angle. Immediately when I start taking this angle, this hand starts becoming available to scoot, to come around, start driving, right? Depending on his grip, because right now he has a seatbelt. Seatbelts are great for sort of turning in and then looking to turn and face and start countering that way. If he has a rear body lock, I might just start thinking about standing up, walking away. Just because rear body lock, there's nothing preventing my shoulders from going forward, right? So I can just start running away. It's difficult for him to keep my posture down. Rear body lock, you can still also turn into him as well. So that's kind of like my go-tos, is like figure out a way to start turning and facing like him. We can go into more specifics later in the week if we get there. Definitely want to keep playing some of these games to sort of reinforce these concepts. We'll feel it out. Any other questions? Okay, so I'll go through another thing that I like to think about, especially when I'm in turtle. The next game we'll play, we'll just basically go full turtle, and for me, I have to get 2 hooks in along with seatbelt. So I'm basically looking for a back take or a hit. With turtle, like the dilemma that I'm really thinking about with turtle is I'm either breaking his posture and structure down, or I'm looking to penetrate the hip, and I'm literally just going between those two. So if Dylan's like really tight with like blocking all of my access to the inside right here, That's fine. Now I'm just looking to break his posture down. So whether that means pulling him, whether that means like sticking my foot here and like leaping his leg outward so that he has to start falling over, I'm looking for ways to break his posture. And then as I break his posture down, he's going to try and recover. And as he recovers, that's where hip penetration right here is a possibility. So I'm basically just going between the two. So anytime like someone's really tight, it's like, oh, I can't get my hook in, or I can't get my any kind of like arm control in. Just look for posture breaks. So it's just I'm looking to break his posture. He doesn't want that. As he comes up, now I'm looking. Now my hand slips inside. Now I have more control than I did before. And now I use it again to break him down, and then maybe I'll sneak in another hand here. So I'm just basically going in between posture breaking and penetration on the inside, whether that means grabbing the underhook, whether that means getting the hook in. So just like understanding that from our greatly increase your chances of getting control. And then when you're on bottom, I think there's a lot to be. I generally don't recommend having just my hands on the mat. Dylan can just sink in a choke right here. So I recommend being on your elbow so you can always protect your neck. Hand fight a little bit here. And then don't be afraid to just like, especially if like they're grabbing and their hands aren't connected, to sort of use hand grips and take up their grips. So now it's like, it's much harder to control me. Now I can just start posturing up, standing away. So make sure that you're also hand fighting, taking an angle to see if you can try and face him. Alright, so we'll play the game again where we'll start in turtle, but this time I have to get both of my hooks in and also connect the hands. Or knock Dylan down to a hip in a pinning situation. If I knock Dylan down to a hip and he gets in a guard, like maybe some sort of half guard, anything with his legs in front of me, that's a win condition for Dylan. So make sure when you knock him down to the hip that you're either mounted or inside. And then once you reach your goals, switch. Questions? Stand up disconnect, or if they knock you down,
No chokes?
sort of subs. Subs. Yeah. So basically the whole game.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna do like partner, same thing. Two hooks, one hand, or a king half guard. You guys can start. It'll take a while.
You good? Yeah. Okay. Good? Sure.
Is it like a full part of the office or one?
You can choose. Yeah, kind of like, I feel like generally I'm going here for kind of picture this initiative here. Come on, you want only because of that.
Special case here in the journal where the top person starts with a seatbelt and one hook already. Start in this position right here. My only goal as top person is to either get the second hook in, or get a sub, or pinned in bottom. We'll just say sub or second hook in. So it's like I'm going to execute a back take, or I have to get a submission. Most likely rear naked choke, but yeah, sub or the second hook in. Now I'm doing this as a special case just because like a lot of people get to this seatbelt position. You're not going to score points in a competition until you get your second hook in. And it's not just the points either. Like when I don't have the second hook in, he still has the ability to rotate his lower body. And with that bit of rotation, then like all of the escapes will start happening. So I'm looking to stop that rotation, get my second hook in, break his posture down, whatever. Dylan's goal is to basically disconnect. So he's looking to either break it, turn to face me, Or if I somehow end up on bottom and he's on top and I lose the back. Any questions? Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. We'll do this with 2 partners, 2 minutes each. Switch when you've accomplished your goal. 1, 2, 1, 2.
And that's exactly, that's like my go-to. Oh, my knees are fine. Someone did that.
one more scenario and we'll talk about what I saw. So I think like when we're in this position where like maybe I have turtle, I knock him down, and he's like fighting to the death to not let him have his token, whether it's like grip fighting, knee to elbow, whatever. I think this is when it's good to think about the dilemma with the sub. So I saw some of you guys do this, and I feel like it's a really good thing where it's like they're so focused on you not getting this the points of me getting this token that now you want to threaten into submission, right? And then their hands are going to come up to defend it, and as they're defending it, now you can throw your second foot. So again, it's like you're going to give them a choice between something bad and something worse, right? Like, oh, okay, I don't want to get subbed, so I'm going to bring my hand up to defend, but then now my foot can come in and score my points. And then once you have that, you can go back to the sub with now even better control. So using the sub as a dilemma as well. So like when you guys are playing the turtle game and all conditions are available, I'm thinking about penetrating his space, I'm thinking about knocking posture down. And in some cases even it's just like, okay, if you're not defending their neck, I'm gonna go for that too. And then they're gonna start defending their neck and maybe I go back to hip penetration. So it's like, you're putting them not only in a dilemma, but a trilemma. So you have all these options to sort of open up your the last game we'll play, I think, is important. We'll start in side control. And the game won't start until, let's say I'm in side control, and then Dylan turns away to turtle. He'll turn away to turtle, and then the minute all four of his elbows and knees hit the mat, we'll start there. So it's kind of like Dylan has the momentum of turning away and rolling, and me following him. So the game kind of starts as he's rolling, and then I need to figure out a way to maybe stop his momentum. Maybe I'm thinking about following him to the other side and keeping him back. So we'll start in side control. This is sort of experimental, so we'll see how it goes. But we're in side control, and then as Dylan turns away, the game starts. Basically, as you guys are rolling into this position, and that just gives like an opportunity for me, the attacker, to figure out how to deal with someone turning away in terms of momentum. But also, it gives the defender a better opportunity where it's like they're not just static here at the turtle. Maybe they can use the momentum to re-guard and use the momentum to re-guard or get their posture. So we'll try this game as well. Any questions? So do side control and then turn away into turtle, and then as you guys are turning, that's when the game starts. And we're looking again for the top person to get a back kick or sub, and then the bottom person to re-guard or to disconnect. Alright, one, two.
I feel like that's what most people do. Yeah, that's like actually don't stand up. So like, and then it's like. You broke your own? Oh, okay. I just standing around just like submitting myself. Yeah. Started straight, so it hurts. But nothing could. Usually I don't care. Okay, go. Okay, so. Are you okay? Did I bump your leg? Did I bump it? You just have vertigo? Oh, so it's thinner now? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Blood pressure medicates my helps my jujitsu. So you got
Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, we'll be doing Fertile a lot this week. Yeah, I think the main points I wanted to get across with all of these games is really, the turtle is a great position, and so like, in order to use it effectively, we want to be able to control it, right? Like, when we first started, it was just like, if I don't keep sufficient pressure down and my partner stands up and walks away, then the position's gone, right? So we definitely want to think about posture breaking. We want to think about penetrating hip space to get our grips so we can stop them from rotating and also to align ourselves for something like a back. So like chest to upper back, hips to lower back, and then now I'm looking for hooks so I can secure myself to my partner. And then we eventually added subs in as like a third thing that my opponent has to think about, right? So it's just like breaking posture, getting his hip to the mat. Barring that, we're looking to get our limbs inside in order to start getting aligned back kicks, or looking for solutions. I think like when we think about the position in this way, like the most important thing is being able to handle your partner's defensive reactions. So like all the stuff you guys are doing, like following the back, figuring out how to stop rotation, giving your grips, I think it's all good things when we're looking at how to be better at it. Yeah, so we'll be doing more of these games during the week. We'll also go through maybe some more specific scenarios about like rear body lock, also seatbelt, and maybe a couple of defensive maneuvers. Early next week and also.
Last
ask questions.
I have a question. I have a tendency to fall forward. You know, like I kind of like get my chest too high, like
Yeah.
chest to like the back of the head. Like,
Yeah, so with like falling forward, I would just say like, especially if you're looking for something like a back take and you're like, let's say you're probably like this, like you're really high up.
So yeah.
Yeah, so like the conditions for a back take are literally my chest is molded to the upper back, right? And then my hips are molded to the lower back. And then you have your hooks to keep them in place and you have your seatbelt in place, right? So really all you want to do if you're way too far up, you don't want them standing up because they stand up and they start to slide off, right? So you could implement like a double unders grip, but I've seen like usually what I do is like I need to start shifting my weight back rather than forward, right? So sometimes if I have hooks, even one hook is enough. I'll let go of my hands and just base on that and start moving myself backwards, right? I've also seen like basing on the head, it's like, that's nice. And then you can also like grab the back of the armpit and pull yourself. You're basically just realigning yourself. If I'm this far up, all Dylan has to do is start standing up and then do a circle forward. So I need to figure out a way to scoop back, grab armpits. Now that my lower back is more aligned, my upper back is more aligned, now I'm much more stable. Better for me to have my weight up. So anytime you find yourself falling off, you just gotta find a way back up. Whether by pulling yourself back, put your hands on the mat, put your hands on the head. Alright, that's class. We'll have open mat now. Turn on your safety system. We'll high five and just follow me. Yeah. It might be that you're why am I doing
How long have you been doing
I think sometimes it's like you're really
I feel, I mean, I used to really like deep
and it's just
climber,
important to
and I got into the thing, it's really nice.
the back take is
But
not there.
the slickness is really deep too. Yeah,
Because you like I think once you're aware that I have
ease
this
for
it could be too. What's the position like right before that you don't get it? Was this your first place? Yeah. How'd you like it?
I would like
Alan teaches most classes. I think it's really up to him. I think like every so often we have like 15 to 20 minutes of break. sure you have. Yes. Say like, oh, I took the trial class with Frank. Thursday. Show me some of the it's tough. And I think you'll be able to for sure. I think I'm unsure about the